Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for my top 5 favorite comic books of the week. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is my top 5 favorite new comic books of the week. Not a spec list, just a list of my personal top 5 favorites and highest recommendations. At number 5, we've got Hotel, Volume 2, Number 4, from AWA Upshot. Written by John Lees, with artwork by Dalibor Talajic, coloring by Lee Lowridge, and Sal Cipriano on the lettering. So Hotel's been a really satisfying horror anthology from AWA and Upshot, written by John Sink Lees. Absolutely cool stuff. The first volume, each issue focused on a different horror story relating to a different room on this by-the-road motel on Route 66 or something like that. It all came together in that final issue. It all got tied together. Well, now that we already know John Lees' trick here, he is able to more fully develop out the ongoing narrative in Hotel Volume 2, as well as continuing to deliver really nice, punchy horror stories with really gut-wrenching endings at times. Now, this one is gonna tug on my heartstrings, yo. John Lees had me, a grown man, trying not to cry, reading comics on a Tuesday afternoon with this one. So it's about a dude and his dog has been alive for a long time. He's not doing well, and he's doing whatever it takes to extend this dog's life, even though that may not be what's best for the animal. So it does deal with the death of animals, it deals with letting go, and it does so in a truly horrific way, but also an emotionally resonant way that 100% worked for me. This was the best issue I thought of Hotel Volume 2 yet, and I'm loving this series overall. The artwork's pretty solid, the coloring is great, top-notch book. At number 4, Saga, number 57, from Image Comics. Written by Brian K. Vaughan, with artwork by Fiona Staples, lettering by Phonographics. Saga continues to do what it has continued to do for years, except for the few years where it was on a hiatus, right? 3 issues back from that hiatus, though, and it's continuing its momentum, giving us just the right story progression, giving us the right character moments, throwing back to sad, tragic moments, having us feel the emotional weight of that. Fiona Staples' artwork just gets more and more confident as this series progresses. I love the luscious watercolor-esque backgrounds. I think it makes for an exciting experience. So in this current story, we got the family. They're off doing their own things, maybe smuggling drugs, stuff like that. We got new characters introduced. And of course, we have new revelations, or should I say, new mysterious possible revelations and foreshadowing about newer characters. I really like this book. I'm so glad I got caught back up before it returned, and each issue is able to hit notes of humor, notes of drama, notes of action, adventure, and just wrapping it all up into a really fun, unpredictable slam-bang time. At number 3, The Department of Truth, number 17, from Image Comics. Written by James Tynion IV, with artwork by Jorge Fornes, coloring by Jordi Belair, lettering by Aditya Bidikar. I'm just loving Department of Truth. Now, this is the final issue of the current round of deviations, so this is a one-and-done, single-issue story that is part of the overall narrative of Department of Truth. This issue focuses in on the moon landing conspiracy, right? Because in Department of Truth, consensus belief can literally change reality. So in this issue, we have Frank Capra and Lee Harvey Oswald explaining to Nixon this whole idea, how far it goes back. So we're getting a little bit more history in the world of Department of Truth, and we're tying it up into the moon landing. Now, the way that Tynion is able to handle the moon landing conspiracies, which the moon landing conspiracy theory is one that I'm just like, y'all too crazy, right? But I really like the way it's handled here. It ties into the overall story of this, and Jorge Fornes. Now, one of the best parts of Department of Truth is Martin Simmons and how he's able to deliver amazing, crazy artwork that really helps the wordy exposition of James Tynion kind of flow right through. Jorge Fornes has a completely different style, maybe a little bit more rigid technically, but it still works, and it works in such a great way to also kind of make those exposition moments feel very light and breezy. So the artwork in this one was top-notch, even though structurally a bit different than some of the stuff we've seen before. It does work and is very appropriate, I think, to the overall feel and vibe of this single issue. It's also got a great ending, once again deepening mysteries about certain characters. Department of Truth, it's like X-Files on speed and crack and LSD at the same time. What does that mean? I don't know, but I love this book. At number 2, Girl Scouts, Stone Ghost, number 5, from Image Comics. Created, written, and illustrated by Jim Mahfood. So I'll be honest, when I first started reading Girl Scouts Stone Ghost, I was completely confused. I was like, this isn't anything like the Girl Scout stuff I used to read. It doesn't feel connected even to the last Girl Scout story, Magic Socks. I was so lost. But I love Jim Mahfood's artwork. He's got this graffiti, wild, crazy style in which he's using so many different techniques and innovations. He's using, of course, ink work, but he's using like splatter effects. He's using actual screen tone. He's doing something incredibly different, incredibly wonky, and 100% captivating to me. And as this story has progressed, the clarity of the narrative and its connection to the previous Girl Scouts series has become more and more clear. But I absolutely love it. The artwork is fantastic. It's got wild, rambunctious, hilarious moments. There's this moment towards the end here where this guy's basically like, freak you, F face. It's hilarious. It's wild. If you're not easily offended, if you like cool, gnarly artwork that's doing something truly unique and unlike anything else, at the same time telling a rather emotional story that still is zany and wild as hell, you need to check this one out. Don't sleep on Girl Scouts. It's one of the best books out. And at number 1, Ghost Cage, number 1, from Image Comics. Illustrated and co-written by Nick Dragotta, co-written by Caleb Gellner, and lettered by Russ Wooten. Ghost Cage is, simply put, one of the absolute best black and white comic books I have seen in years, maybe decades. This book is amazing. Now, it's got an Otomo vibe and feel to it. It feels like Akira. There is use of screen tone. There is use of wide spaces. There's use of tight panel construction, but it is absolutely free, has plenty of room to breathe, and is 100% a fantastic visual experience. I was blown away by the artwork here. So this is co-created, co-written, and illustrated by Nick Dragotta, who we know from East of West. Now, I love Nick's line work on East of West. I was a little nervous about a possible black and white book from him, but with those gray tones, with that screen tone, it really makes such a visually captivating experience. And on top of that, we got a great story with really cool wonky sci-fi concepts. There's this big power tower, Tower of Power, right? It supplies all the power, maybe to the entire world, but at least to this community at large. They have controlled blackouts and things like this. They are now being attacked by like some corporate espionage, and someone's in this power plant and has caused a blackout to the populace. So the dude who runs this power plant has created this artificial sentient intelligence that he has unleashed into the power plant to hunt down this corporate terrorist, as well as fight these unleashed nightmares representing different forms of energy like coal and hydro and solar and nuclear. It's wild. It's got this cool, like, I don't know, is the movie The Raid, but it's kind of like that Warren Ellis Moon Knight book where Moon Knight had to go level by level by level, so it's kind of like that. It's got that video game kind of feel story-wise, but really cool, crazy concepts. The character designs are amazing, and like I said, the black and white artwork is masterful. To me, it was 100% the best book of the week, though there were some good books, there were some duds, but 100%. This was the one for me. It was an image-heavy week for me. They are continuing to just pump out solid, consistently solid content and I'm all for it. Ghost Cage is the first of a 3-issue series. It's extra size, though. It is $5.99, but you're going to get plenty of fantastic artwork and interesting, cool story to go along with it. So that's my number 1. So what are you thinking about what you read this week? What are your favorite comics? In fact, what are your top 5 favorite comics? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Join us over at patreon.com/PCP if you want to help support the channel. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on reading. Station. Pop, pop. Boom, boom, boom.